All right, Wayne Allen Root with Bill O'Reilly, as we do every Monday and Wednesday. We also have Bill's Talking Points on Tuesday, right here on Wayne Allen Root, raw and unfiltered. And we're proud to have him with us. Bill, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Wayne. What do we got for me tonight?
Well, the usual, a lot of chaos over the weekend. The Proud Boys, the right-wingers, were fighting with Antifa in Portland, and a lot of violence. I believe all the violence was on the left side, Antifa. And I guess the question is, Trump is considering labeling Antifa a terrorist organization. Do you agree? Is that the right thing to do?
Yeah, I would. I mean, they get the masks, right? I mean, I think fanatics are fanatics. Proud Boys, I wouldn't be hanging with them. But they don't have masks. And the Antifa people have masks. So why do they have masks? Because they want to do damage. And they don't want you to know who they are. So that seems to be terrorism to me. So I would put a designation on it, sure.
All right, agreed. 1 for 1. Number 2, Israel banned over the weekend Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar from entering their country. And then, of course, Israel capitulated because Rashida Tlaib said she had a grandmother who's in her 90s, she'll never see her again. Let me in for compassionate reasons. And Israel said, okay, as long as you don't, rabble rouse and cause any problems. And she came back after asking, and they said yes. And she said, no, I'm not going to do it. And so it's a whole mess and an international brouhaha, and the Democrats in the United States Congress are planning to retaliate against Israel. Is that a big mistake, do you think, on the Democrats' part?
I don't think they will retaliate against Israel. I think that's bull. I think the Democratic Party knows that Omar and Tlaib are disruptors. How about that? Disruptors. I feel sorry for the grandmother, but why can't she come to the USA? You could charter a plane, bring her on over here, and right?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. All of this stuff is just bogus nonsense to bring attention to the Mod Squad. And if I were Netanyahu, I wouldn't let him in either, because they're up to no good. Yeah, they're up to no good. They want to hurt the country.
And by the way, it was only 3 weeks ago that a gigantic congressional delegation, I think it was 75 or 80 congressmen and women of both parties, bipartisan, went to Israel and met with Israeli officials and pledged their basically undying loyalty to Israel. And they wouldn't go with them for obvious reasons, because Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are troublemakers who hate Israel. And now they planned a trip not to Israel. They were going to land in Israel, but they called it Palestine on their itinerary. So obviously, isn't that a sign? It was nothing but trouble, trouble, trouble.
Yeah, and it also bolsters my argument that the Democratic Party is not going to do anything to Israel, because that would be foolish and lose them votes.
All right, we move on to someone who I think is doing something very foolish, because I'm a friend of Anthony Scaramucci, and I don't even know what to say anymore. I find it embarrassing. I think Anthony Scaramucci looks like Benedict Arnold. When you're Benedict Arnold, nobody likes you. The left loves him for 5 minutes, and he's trying to get a CNN show. Obviously, in my mind, or a reality TV show for him and his wife. But after that, they're going to throw him out, and the Republicans will never speak to him again, and Trump will never speak to him again. So he becomes Benedict Arnold, radioactive. Nobody wants him. Just my opinion, the way he hates Trump.
I don't know what Anthony's doing. He's a casual acquaintance of mine. I've never really, I don't know, Wayne. People do things. They want attention. I don't know why they do what they do. So I really can't add anything to this. You know him better than I do.
Well, I probably don't know him any better than you do. He's a casual friend. But I thought that him and I both were simpatico, that we loved Trump and thought he was great for the country and the economy. And I just think he looks like he's got off the deep end. He's almost as bad as the extremists in the Democratic Party and his vitriol at Trump. It just looks nuts.
Well, I heard there's going to be a remake of a movie called Two for the Seesaw, starring Anthony and Omarosa. I don't know. That's pretty good off the top of my head, isn't it? That wasn't bad.
It's not bad, and you probably don't even know that Two for the Money was the famous movie, and you know Matthew McConaughey was playing Wayne Allyn Root in that movie? That's where that movie came from. I was a professional sports handicapper in another life 20 years ago, and a kid in our office wrote a movie script and sold it, and I was that Matthew McConaughey character in Two for the Money. So, interesting.
And you look,
small world, right?
You both look so similar, too, you know?
Well, not anymore, obviously. Very funny, Bill, because now I'm 58 years old, but I was 28 when I was Matthew McConaughey. That was 30 years ago. All right.
Well, McConaughey's
like, column,
he's 60 years old, too, isn't he? I mean, he's aging rapidly. So anyway.
I think he's probably 50 now. When he did the movie, he was probably 40. But anyway, in your latest column, you talk about an event that happened at the University of Michigan about fascists and fascist times. And it's an event that didn't happen the way liberals would like it to happen. Explain.
Well, I wrote a column called Fascist Times at the University of Michigan off Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And, you know, you have Stephen Ross, who's donated, what was it, $538 million to the school or some colossal amount of money. And he holds a fundraiser for Trump. And then the alumni run by this far left crank named Rayo, who's part of the Center for American Progress, which is, you don't get a more virulent group than that. That's a Soros group. Writes to the university saying, hey, you got to take Ross's name off all the buildings and disassociate. And that's fascism. That's just, and to the University of Michigan's credit, they just said, you know what, we're not going to do that. So I'm glad the University of Michigan stood up, but the fact that this guy would do this, it's just beyond the pale, Wayne, way beyond the pale.
Yeah. Well, that's how extreme the left is. By the way, I've got a new name for you and I. You and I are the updated version of Two for the Money, just so everybody knows. Bill O'Reilly, Wayne Root, Two for the Money, every Monday and every Wednesday right here on Wayne Allyn Root Raw and Unfiltered. Thanks, Bill. Enjoy your holiday.
All right, Wayne. See you soon.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing news channel, now in 65 million homes. Get Newsmax TV on all the major cable systems or go to NewsmaxTV.com and click on the Find Newsmax tab to locate us. Remember, Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.